Portfolio has broken $18,000. This is exciting to me because of how far we've come since August, since that beautiful account transfer. More importantly, though, I did think for a brief time that I would have gone on the defensive, but then I realized it's probably not the case. We have been seeing that Apple stock was downgraded this past week. We all know that, of course. Um, am I concerned about that? I'm not. I do think that Apple and its sell-off is actually healthy, and understandingly, that Barclays downgrading Apple is just, hey, they're lowering the price target and they're fearing that, the sales of their iPhones in China are going to slow down. And it's understandable. This usually happens. It's a cycle. And what drives the market most of the time is usually fear. So as I sack up more Apple shares, which I have been doing, we're working our way up till when Apple stock splits, which is going to be a while. But for the most part, lay the foundation now, yield later. I was really having, I wouldn't say high hopes for Bitcoin getting their ETF approved, but basically medium hopes, if that makes sense. We do own a little bit of Bitcoin. We've seen, I would honestly say, just such an incremental amount of profit return. 60%, nothing to really brag about. But I am investing more into the crypto space because I do feel like it is a big part of our future, especially when crypto becomes, overseen by the government because they want to regulate it. It's understandable. It's just one of those things where if it's not in their hands and they want it to be, they'll make it happen. Apparently, the SEC, they had a fake post on their Twitter account that the ETF for the Bitcoin was not yet approved. And I find it funny how, they can keep everything locked down so secure. And then on their Twitter account, it supposedly got hacked. That's what I'm reading from sources, but it's not officially true. So it's kind of hard to say. So basically, there hasn't been a direct answer as to whether or not this has been approved or not. It looks like it was just a fluke. But we're basically waiting eagerly. And there is a lot of speculation that, if this Bitcoin ETF does get approved, which I do think it will get approved because it's just more government oversight onto crypto, which for so long they haven't had their hands on. So this is something they do want their hands on. And a lot of other large institutions that will be able to bank and make so much profit off of this. So it's very important that, in their eyes, that this happens. And then for us, we make our little small slice of the pie. Obviously, that I am a huge NVIDIA fan, and I have been banking on the idea of the next time NVIDIA stock splits. Stock split is basically when you take a stock and you split it up and you get more stocks, but you keep the same equity. Now, if NVIDIA was $100 a share, just for example, and it does a 4-to-1 stock split, that's a 4-to-1 ratio. Basically, you'll have, if you have 100 shares at $100, now you have 400 shares, but each share is worth $25 because now the stock price has essentially been lowered and it makes it look a lot easier to purchase. Now, currently at 530 plus a share, the average investor is going to look at Nvidia and go, wow, that's a little bit expensive. But what is expensive, And, if you really want to look at the valuation of a company, that's a whole different topic. But for the most part, a lot of people are banking on the idea that NVIDIA will more than likely, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, stock split this year, 2024, banking on the idea. People and analysts especially are banking on the idea that, with all this AI optimism and bullish run in that area of the market, which is supposed to fuel the tech side, the health side, biopharmaceutical side, basically almost every single sector, NVIDIA will more than likely be the king, and it will more than likely lead the way for AI and the gains on, basically the tech side, which it has been doing, especially since last year when it rose above 230% plus. And I'm a very big NVIDIA fan. So I do think that if NVIDIA were to stock split and drop their shares down to like $150 a share, that's, a very favorable stock split. I believe that's around a 4-to-1 stock split. So I'll take a 4-to-1 any day. Of course, it has to go through a shareholder approval. And I do think that they would approve that. We would approve that, no doubt. Other than that, I do think that NVIDIA is going to be a very big player this year, despite the fact that it's had such a huge run in 2023, I think it's going to have an even bigger run. That's just my opinion. I'm literally riding on the idea that this is going to happen, and it is literally going to be one of those stocks in 2024 that just outperforms again, and fingers crossed, stock splits, because that would be amazing. One of the stocks that has continued to just surprise me the most, that I just cannot really wrap my mind around, is Shopify. Now, I've never owned Shopify up until late last year, 2023. And I was thinking to myself, I know a lot of people who do e-commerce and they do, online like arbitrage, that type of thing. So why not just buy Amazon stock? But then I realized, well, Shopify and their integrations and, how many people they have with their marketplaces, especially since they've, basically shook hands with Amazon with certain things. I don't think that Shopify can essentially lose at this point with the amount of money and the billions of dollars that they're bringing in revenue, and their opportunity at $80 a share. I don't think you can really go wrong, considering that last year it was up well over 100%, right, in the last year, which is amazing return, right? That definitely outperforms the S&P. I mean, compared to its drop off from when it was $166, $167 a share. Now that is post stock split. It was stock split, I believe, 10-1. So basically, I do think that Shopify is a long-term player, and the fact that they were smart enough to realize that they could not beat Amazon, but rather join them, which is the smarter option. My Shopify holding, I only have less than 13 shares, but you know what? My dollar cost average, I'm just shy of 28%. So, I mean, that's today. But for the most part, I think Shopify does have a lot of long-term potential. And, going into this year, we will see what Shopify will bring into the store, figuratively. So other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys took a little bit more insight into the portfolio experience as I continue to buy more stock and walk my way towards this 100,000 portfolio challenge, because I think this challenge is going to be beaten a lot sooner than I expect. I'm giving myself a little bit longer of a time frame just because we had such a bullish year in 2023, and obviously a lot of times things like that just don't repeat year after year. There's usually a cool off period, but I don't know about this year. It might be the same. It might be even better. And of course, right now, since we sit at 18,000, my goal by the end of 2024 is to reach 42,000 approximately. That's a goal of mine. So we shall see, though. Time will tell. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys took some form of benefit from this. Let me know what you guys think below. Comment, like, subscribe. And of course, happy trading, and I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.